How's it going, Miami Dolphin fans? It is your man, JT, coming back at you with some more 2018 Miami Dolphins roster breakdown. And today I'm going to do skill position players. So this is running backs, this is wide receivers, and this is tight ends, all wrapped up into one nice little video. Didn't feel the need to make 3 separate videos for this position. So my overall thoughts on the Miami Dolphins skill talent is there's a lot of really good stuff. You have great depth, I think, in most of the positions, meaning several options. I think you have about 2 or 3, even potentially starting running backs, if not pretty good ones. You have about 5 or 6 wide receivers that are all capable of starting on this team. And you have pretty much the same thing at tight end, although that was a little not as impressive because it's more by default or more than, lack of great tight end talent outside of your potential rookies, which we'll get into. So at running back, you have Kenny Drake and Frank Gore. This is the 1A, 1B situation. Frank Gore, of course, the veteran, a little bit more of a power back. But he is expected to get more carries than I think a lot of Dolphin fans thought when he was signed on. This isn't appearing to be some kind of farewell tour where he comes in, maybe gets anywhere from 5 to 10 carries in a game, but not every game. Maybe 2 touchdowns and he signs off. Gore has been really working in training camp and really looking to be, continuing to be that running back that guys give, a below running back starting role to. Kenyon Drake, though, is the more explosive running back, and I think the guy that a lot of Dolphin fans hope ultimately clinches on to that starting role. He was excellent taking over for Damian Williams and Jay Ajayi last season. He literally was the best running back for about the last 5 weeks of the season, for what's that worth. But clearly there was some potential there, and I think the Dolphins fans want to see that build upon. But I don't think anybody's going to shun the idea of Frank Gore getting some carries, especially if he's keeping himself in shape, if he's still healthy, if he's out there producing on the field and helping the team win. Ultimately, you got to go with that as well. They also have Kalen Ballage, their 4th-round pick. I don't think he'll get too much action unless maybe Frank Gore or somebody or Drake got injured. Then I think you'd see him getting carried. But I think, you'll see him on special teams. You'll see him making some catches out of the backfield. Minimal work his rookie year. There's also a lot of guys from Gregory Howell and some other names, Norris Perry, that are slipping my mind. They may or may not make the team. I'm not exactly sure, but that's just that kind of situation there. At wide receiver, this is the one that I think is the most interesting position because I feel like you really have 6 guys that are capable of starters. Now, the one negative is you don't have a true elite, count on every day number 1 wide receiver. You don't really have that. I don't know if you had that in Jarvis Landry, but you had something closer. But Kenny Stills, a B kind of wide receiver. Danny Amendola, a B level kind of wide receiver. Albert Wilson, somebody that you signed, hoping he can be maybe a B kind of wide receiver. Jakeem Grant, who broke out last year and you have high hopes for. Devontae Parker, who has been inconsistent and injury prone, and questions about him his whole career, but there was a lot of potential and hype around him coming out of college. And you also have guys like Isaiah Ford and Drew Morgan who you've been developing on, and they could be solid, C minus guys. So it's a very interesting position because you don't have a lot of weakness there. You have about, again, a good 5 guys that could make a contribution on this team and guys who are going to be battling for snaps out there, and you really can only play about 3, 4 wide receivers at a time. I think it's going to be interesting. I think it will really help, though, what Adam Gase wants as far as faster guys, more slot options, maybe that 5 to 15-yard game, a few deep passes a game, maybe with a Kenny Stills or an Amendola, but not, the emphasis being get the ball to playmakers and continue. And then, of course, the tight end. It really ultimately comes down to the 2 rookies, Mike Gesicki and Durham Smith, particularly Mike Gesicki, 2nd-rounder. Blocking has still been an issue for him, which we knew coming out of college, but he has made catch after catch after big catch all training camp, and it's got Dolphin fans super hyped. Dolphin fans probably should, control our expectations, and I'm talking to myself here because I love the guy and I think he's going to be huge, but rookie tight ends tend to just not do that well. That's just the basis. They usually get maybe a good one, 700 yards and 5 touchdowns. They don't jump out and just be elite year 1, and I think it's unfair for us to expect that out of Gesicki just because of how much we love him. But there's also guys who very well could be the week 1 starter, a guy like a Marquise Gray, who is an average catcher, an average blocker, and maybe while Gesicki works on his game, could be a starter for a few weeks. A.J. Derby is much the same experience with Adam Gase in Denver, and we've seen how Adam Gase likes to roll with those guys he's worked with in the past. So let me know what you guys think of the skill position talent. All in all, I'm very excited about it. Again, at all 3 positions, I don't think you have anybody that is elite, that is just, best in the game, but you have lots and lots of really good, reliable talent and some interesting options of guys that could get a lot better. So that is it for the skill position talent in this video. Let me know, of course, what you guys think of the positions down below, and peace.